back to Box to Lights and welcome to the Mistfall playthrough. We're about to enter into the wilds, the final encounter, and face Charduk the Charred. Let's turn over our final location. It's the hunting grounds, deadly beasts. When this location is the active location, remove one wound from every beast in every hero area at the start of each defense phase. Ah, goodness. Okay, let's make this location perilous and draw our encounter. Here it is. Before we hit the setup rules, we've got to do the enemy spawning. So it's 2 times the number of players plus 2, that's 6 enemies. I've given myself a little bit more room here to make this happen. Any type. So we've got the Ice Reaver, a Wild Ice Hound, Fell Stalker, which is there's like some bat crossed with a bird. 3 more Goron Smallhorn, a dire wolf, and a wild ice hound. So we've got a lot of beasts here to take on. Next it says place Gardak the Charred in the quest area. So our leafy villain goes down the end here. There's a special rule. As a reflex, a player may remove 4 progress from this card, discard a regular enemy. And as a fast action, we can discard 2 cards to place 1 progress on this card. Okay, so getting lots of cards is going to help us get rid of enemies. We can't retreat, and we've got to get rid of Gardak the Charred. Wow, this is a tough end mission. Now, I should say that at the end, during an encounter phase, when you haven't got any enemies in front of you, either because you've just completed an encounter or because you took a rest, you need to reset your enemy focus, and that's one thing that I was forgetting to do. So, end of last turn, we should have reset our enemy focus down to 3 for Crow and 4 for Vendor. So the first enemy is coming Vendor's way. That's the Ice Reaver. The good news though is it's slow. It says the enemy does not attack on the same round it enters a hero area unless it's enraged. Okay, focus down to 2. So the next enemy is coming to face Crow. This is the Wild Ice Hound. Focus from 3 down to 1, which means then the Fell Stalker is heading Vendor's way. This one's ranged. And the Scavenger. After this enemy enters a hero area, the player buries 2 cards from their discard pile if able. That's the Scavenger ability. Yeah, okay. When he gets enraged, the same thing happens as well. So let's see, bury 2. Well, there's only 2 cards, so they're getting buried. 2 gun bash. 2 down to 1. So now we can choose. And we're facing the Goron Smallhorn. I think we'll give this one to Crow. And we focus down to 0, which means Vendor gets the dire wolf. And that means this one's ranged. That was going up here. That means the pursuit ends. So we've got a Wild Ice Hound and Gardak. This enemy may not be targeted by any attacks as long as there are no other enemies in the same area. We could potentially hit the Wild Ice Hound and then start taking down Gardak. It's an interesting thought. And as usual, I think we're going to start with our heavy hitting vendor. There is one thought, maybe move any enemy into your hero area as a reflex action. If Fender did that, and say move this one in, that would leave Gardak here. Alright, so he'd get enraged and attack us, but then he'd be undefended. Yeah, that's range 2. So I could do, I've got a couple of dagger throws here, which would add range to these two. Chardak's pretty tough. He's got 2 armour, and then in terms of health, notice there's no health here. Instead, his health is given by the encounter, so Gardak could be different health depending on which encounter you've got or which quest you've got. So at the moment he's 3 times number of players plus 6, so he's got 12. Yeah. Do you know what, I think I'm just opening myself up a little bit too much. Or I could do something like, as a regular action, Furious Strike. Resolve any one action of an axe card in your hero area to add 2 damage. Let's do that. Increases my focus by 1. We'll use the Cleaver of Havoc. Increases my focus by 2. Deals 2 damage. And place a flame on the target enemy. Discard this card. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then discard up to 3 combat cards to deal an additional damage. I'm going to discard 2. Taunt and Wrath Call. Yeah. 2. So that's going to do 6 damage. 3 soaked up by his shield, so that's only 3 damage. I need 4 to kill him, but we do put a flame there, burning there, sorry. He has a vulnerability to flame, but I don't have anything that gives flame. But that one flame should finish him off. Now I do have my hand axe left. As a fast action, deal 2 damage. Discard 1 to do 3. Okay, so let's do this. I should have raised this by 2, shouldn't I? For those 2 cards. I'm going to raise it by 2 more. 1, 2. And then 1 more by discarding, this goes on top of my deck, discard a combat card. Off call. That does 1, 2, 3 damage. The wolf has 1 armour. So that's 2 damage here. He's still alive. We're making progress. So now my axe wielder ability is a fast action, Cleaver of Havoc, top of my deck. And then I'm going to end my hero turn, which means I can use my Ravenclad Resilience, 1 card from our burial to the bottom of our deck, and we'll use Blunt Bash. And then we'll draw back up. We've got 1 card in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now Crow, and his priority I think is to take down this small horn. I mustn't forget the location thing. At the end, at the start of each defense phase, remove a wound. Yes. Yes. You've really got to kill these guys. I forgot that. actually have to finish off the direwolf in the Reaver for Vendor. Let's do that. So I'll reflex dagger throw, add 1 range to a dagger, increase this by 1. Dagger, this is a fast action. Or regular action. Let's do a regular action, deal 2 damage. Plus 1 from my short blade mastery, that's 3 damage. I need to do 1 more, don't I? 1, 2, 3. I can discard up to 2 combat cards. Discard Shadow Step. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. Yeah. And that moves my focus up by 1, 2 more. 1, 2. We'll put the wound on the Ice Reaver, which will kill it. The Ice Reaver has 2 resolve reward. Discard that, take out 2 resolve. The direwolf, I need to do 2, 1 for the shield, 1 for the range. So again, it's dagger throw. Now, I've got to be a bit cleverer here, because I can use my dagger as a fast action to deal 1 damage. Plus this one, that's 2. So I could put a wound on one of these. It's going to push my focus up twice. That's potentially more reinforcements, isn't it? Yeah, I've already hit the reinforcement point here, so this should be up at 1 already. I think I'm going to leave it. Wow, this is tough. So it's dagger throw, fast action, 2 damage with short blade mastery. 1, 2, 3. And then 1 to the reinforcement track. Kills the direwolf. Gives me 1 resolve. And now we've got 3. But I think I'm going to save that for Vendor. I want her to do some final killing blows. So let's draw back up 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Okay. Right, start the defense phase. Any beasts? Recover a wound. He's not a beast. He is a beast. Not a beast. I've got 2 beasts left, 1 here and 1 here. These 2 wild ice hounds. That's pretty cool. Right. Defense phase. Who are we going to activate first? Let's do the Fell Stalker. So this thing's going to do 2 damage. 2 damage. Can I dodge it? Yeah, cancel that to 3 damage. We'll do Furious Denial. This goes up by 2. 1, 2. Okay, no damage for Vendor. Oh no, actually, let's not do that, because it's only 2. It's only 2. Let's just put a Rothcore in the burial pile. Crow now. So the Ice Hound does 1, the Goron Smallhorn does 2. I can cancel 2, discarding ability, and move it back to the quest area. Interesting. I might want to do that. This goes 1 to the right. Put him back up here. So I want to get to this guy as quickly as possible. And the Ice Hound does 1 damage. Oh, I had to discard 1, didn't I? To discard Shadow Step. Yeah, let's just take the damage off this Wild Ice Hound. And we will bury Shadow Step. Yep. encounter phase now. We haven't completed an encounter, so encounter phase, nothing happens, and we go straight into the time phase. And this one says Hope and Shadow. Time goes up by 2. Each player immediately draws 1 card if able. It's not true that it's darkest before the dawn. It is darkest when the darkness is strongest. But we will not forsake our hope, and we will fight to the end. Draw a card if able. Nice. First off, time goes up on 2. Ooh, we're dangerously close. I'm starting to lose a little bit of confidence now.